As we were flipping a set of nightstands, we ran into something we had never seen before. Usually furniture carries veneer over the top and across onto the edges. But in this case, there was a beautiful oak veneer on the top, but it didn't continue towards the sides and the edges of the nightstand. It was only MDF, as you can see here. There was no grain. So we thought about painting the edges until we came across this iron-on veneer from Home Depot. It comes in a lot of different woods. There's birch, pine, maple, hickory. In our case, we bought oak, and it was the perfect match to the top. They sell for about $5 each, and we only needed one pack to do this set of nightstands. The first thing we did was measure out a few approximate pieces. We didn't bother using a measuring tape as we wanted them to be slightly longer so we had some wiggle room to work with. Once our 3 pieces were cut, we set our iron to a cotton no-steam setting. According to Google, it's about 204 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. At first, we thought it would be easiest to tape one side of the veneer to keep it from curling at the ends, but we quickly found out that the tape just didn't stick to the veneer at all. We scrapped that idea and just held it in place. The wood veneer tends to slide up and down or side to side depending on which way you're ironing. Since we left so much extra on the length, we didn't really care about it shifting side to side, but I was hyper-focused on the veneer being lined up with the top. The wood veneer isn't the most forgiving, so make sure you go slow and you take your time so it doesn't slip out of place. We found the easiest method was to go over it once lightly and then back over it a few times until it's fully fused. Just be careful you don't leave it in one place too long or else it might burn the veneer. We snipped the overhang and lined up the next piece. The corners were by far the trickiest since the veneer keeps moving side to side and we wanted to line them up perfectly square. We fused the corners of the veneer together by applying a little bit of heat on each side. We replicated this process with the other corner as well, making sure the corners don't slip. We also ironed some random spots along the edges to help the corner stay in place. Once the veneer was on, we did a final pass with the iron to make sure it was completely secure. The veneer was about 1/8 of an inch wider than the edges, so we needed to trim off the excess. You can see the overhang here, and we used an X-Acto knife to cut off the lip. Although we were focused on lining up the top perfectly, we could see a few areas where the veneer had shifted, so cut these imperfections as well to clean up the top. We then did a light hand sand using 100 grit sandpaper to smooth out the rim. And finally, we stained and polyurethaned the wood veneer to match the top. You can't even tell that we added our own wood veneer to these pieces. We are so impressed with this product and it's incredibly easy to use. Let us know what you think and ask any questions in the comments below.
See you next weekend!